Alright, hi everyone. We are going to do an annotation video for All Systems Red by Martha Wells. I apologise if I sound a little bit dodgy because I am still recovering from my recent bout of COVID, because yes, that still exists in this world and people like to pretend that it doesn't. But anyway, that's knocked me around for a little bit, but I am upright and mobile, sort of, and fully capable of doing an immersive read of All Systems Red by Martha Wells and annotating it at the same time. For those of you who are unfamiliar, this is a sci-fi novella. We have a sentient cyborg-ish character who is allergic to feelings, essentially, but they have hacked their own governor module, so they have free will, which is a bit of a problem because the group that owns them and rents them out to people would not be happy with that happening. Can you tell I'm sick because I can't explain things properly? Anyway, they're sent on jobs where they have to keep humans safe, and they go out on this one particular job and it turns very dangerous very quickly. I love this series so much. I've recently been trying to read the most recent book in the series and failing, like I just can't wrap my head around it. So the fact that this came out as a annotation book for the month of April is really, really good timing because I desperately want to be able to get into that last book, and I think I just need to reread the series in order to do that. So I'm going to listen to the graphic audio and annotate the book, which is not something I've done yet. I don't think I've actually immersive read with any of the graphic audios that I own, and I own quite a few. So this is going to be a new experience. I'm not going to keep the dust jacket on here because that's just going to be annoying. So this is the hardback. It does have the little Tor logo. I'm kind of tempted to see, I do have some Jelly Roll pens somewhere. I kind of want to colour in the debossing. I don't know. We shall see. I'm going to be using my regular colour coding system, which is the fluoro tabs, and I'm also going to use my Flair pens to underline anything. And I think what I might do a little bit differently here is if I've got some thoughts or I want to talk sort of through my actual annotation process, is I might literally speak out loud what I'm thinking about when I start annotating. Not for the whole thing because that will just take too long, but maybe for part of it. So I'm going to bring up the graphic audio. In fact, it should already be downloaded. I suppose if you're new here, I know I go through this in almost every video, but if you're new here, pink is favorite quotes, orange is real world elements or things that I just want to be aware of. So socio-political sort of stuff. It could be positive, it could be negative, but I tend to use orange for that. Yellow is relationship building, green is for plot points, blue is for anything that is emotional, that makes me funny. To be honest, I think I need some more blue. I'll go find another one in a second. The dark purple is, in this case, going to be me tracking other characters besides Murderbot that are in various other stories, because I think that was my issue with the most recent book. And purple is just going to be anything that we learn about Murderbot. So I've just grabbed a couple of extra sheets that I've already started that still have some blue tabs on it. Blue tabs I tend to go through the fastest because that's anything that makes me laugh or cry or anything like that. Did it take me this long to realise that I had the wrong Murderbot Diaries graphic audio lined up? Yes, it did. That's okay. Let's try again.
This is one. Graphic audio. A movie in your mind.
All right, so what you can see here is that I really like the opening line of All Systems Red, so I just use that as a blue quote because also hashtag relatable. I could have become a mass murderer after I hacked my governor module, but then I realized I could access the combined feed of entertainment channels carried on the company satellites. Yeah, fair enough. You know, everyone's got choices in life and that seems like a good one. And also I do love the quote, as a heartless killing machine, I was a terrible failure, because I think that summarizes Murderbot fairly accurately. So yeah, generally what I do now is if I'm doing one of these kinds of annotations is I'll underline and then use a page flag. Some people will probably go, you don't need to have more than one page flag on each thing. I don't necessarily put a page flag with everything that I underline, and I don't necessarily underline everything that I have a page flag for, but I happen to like these quotes, so that's why that's there. So I've just underlined a couple of the character names which I want to track, but I'm also going to keep a list because I think I'm going to make a list at the front of the book. You'll see I'll do some notes and things at the end, and I think I might just use this bit of paper to track what it is that I want to add rather than flipping backwards and forwards. There's a little bit of bleed through on this particular paper with these pens, but I'm not going to worry about it because I am enjoying what I'm doing. So we're not very far in, clearly. We're just going to keep going. Okay, so here is an example of something that I probably don't need to underline, but is just important to know about Murderbot, in that, you know, when they're injured, their arteries and veins seal automatically. Like, that's a cool little detail to know. Okay, so here's an example of sort of that socio-political sort of stuff that I'm talking about, because the company that owns the SEC unit, who basically says that, you know, if you are taking on this job, you have to have a SEC unit to protect your team, etc. But essentially, a SEC unit's job is not only there as protection, but also to collect data. And so they're constantly recording conversations, etc. And so Murderbot says, you know, but the company would access all the recordings and data mine them for anything they could sell. That's very big business, corporate sort of reflection of current society. And then it says, no, they don't tell people that. And yes, everyone does know it. There's just nothing you can do about it. And so something like that, I think, is a very good reflection of society. And that's why I would underline it and highlight it as a quote. So I wasn't sure whether I was going to actually be writing notes in this annotation. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I kind of had to here because it's the first time that Murderbot lets its emotions slip through on its face because it's not wearing its armor or its helmet. I'm out of practice and controlling my expression right now. I'm pretty sure it was somewhere between the region of stunned horror and maybe appalled horror. And yep, seriously, same. I have finished my annotation and it was good. I really enjoyed reading it, and the interesting thing about the immersive read and the graphic audio, not every word in the book is in the graphic audio, which is what I suspected, but the majority of it was in there. So there were just sort of sentences here or there that weren't included because they weren't necessary. All right, so I said I was going to do a cast of characters. Let's go tropes and keywords first. So the main group that Murderbot is working with is Preservation Ox, which is headed by Dr. Mensah, who is a big part of all of the books. Rathan. Oh, and I wanted to see if I could get the dates that I've read this. Okay, that is not helpful. I need to get my laptop. Okay. First read was June 2018, so that was a while ago. And then I did graphic audio last year, so reread, and then it is March/April. It's right on the end of March, and I did immersive. Okay, so that is my finished annotation of All Systems Red. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these. Novellas are really good for annotation videos, I've realised. And if you like this format, let me know. I can't do it when I'm reading longer books because I don't sit like this. I can't sit like this for longer periods of time. But if it's a little novella, this seems to be the perfect length. In the comments, let me know if you've read All Systems Red and your thoughts on it. Otherwise, feel free to leave me a spaceship emoji if there is one. I don't know if there is. We'll have to check that out. Otherwise, I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.